So good evening and welcome to my kitchen in glamorous Wandsworth, and more importantly, how to get into TV, radio and film. My name is Peter Dimitris. I'm a director. I've been in TV for about 30, well, let's say a very long time, very, very long time. And so this event we're doing tonight is not only on YouTube, it's also being simulcast on Facebook. So hello to all the more mature social media users out there. How you doing? Welcome to the glamorous world of new media. So before we kick off, just a little bit of housekeeping. So it's an interactive event with a Q&A session, which will be at the end. So it's coming up. So as I mentioned earlier on, get dressed, put your makeup on, brush your hair, turn on your lights. Most importantly, we need to see you. You can't do it in the dark of your bedroom. You need to have your lights turned on and get ready to chat to us on video. And obviously, when I introduce you, you unmute your microphone and you can ask questions to Samina and she'll help you out. I should let you know that this event is being recorded and it's going to be published on YouTube at a later date. So it's even more reason to make sure that you're looking your best. Okay, so now's your chance. Let me introduce you to the brains behind this enterprise. It's called How to Get into TV, Radio and Film, if you haven't already guessed. She's worked in the media industry for over 25 years across TV, radio and film. She started her career as a floor manager, and that's where we met back when I was a studio director. And yes, at first, she's also been a first assistant director, and now she's a broadcast journalist and TV producer. And during her career, she's worked on some of the biggest shows in Britain, actually bigger than I've directed, so I'm quite jealous, including Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, Big Brother, and working at MTV. As a broadcast journalist, she's contributed to the BBC Asian Network, the Ocean Seven's films, get that, hey? Reuters News Agency, amongst many others. So please welcome my good friend, Samina Kiyani. Happy New Year, Samina.
Happy New Year, Peter, and Happy New Year to you all. Thanks so much for coming this evening. It's really great. Could I request, because as Peter mentioned earlier, this is about the communications industry. You've all come to learn a bit more about it. So for all of those of you who want to be on video, please go ahead. Now's the time. It'd be really good to get connected and see everybody's face and set everything up for when we do the Q&A. So please do feel free to come on camera. It will be great to see you. Thank you so much for all of you who are popping up on camera. That's great. It's really great to see you all.
Wow, turn those cameras on. Look, faces from all over the world. Fantastic. Okay, so just to whet your appetite, Samina has carefully put together a video, or a VT as we call it in the biz, standby VT. So this is what you can expect from her venture. So stick with us it's only about 4 minutes long, so stick with us, and after that we'll come back for the Q&A. So run VT.
Yeah, not quite TV standard. This is Zoom, so give me a moment. So yeah, it's just a compilation of some of the contributors who have contributed to my channel, all industry professionals across TV, radio and film, just to give you a flavor of what you can expect from the channel. So let me get that underway and play it to you.
Can I say run VT?
Break into this industry, and why did you choose this industry?
So first of all, I didn't really choose the industry. I thought I was going to be a pop star. That was my goal.
Oh wow, I'll tell us more.
No, Beyonce got there first. I let her have it.
Well, I didn't really choose TV, actually. TV kind of chose me.
And I thought, ooh, who am I going to be? Which one of these people can I be? And I looked at the most noisy one, which was the director telling everybody what to do. And I thought, I'll have that, I'll do that. That's the one I want to do.
It'll take 4 days to shoot something that's going to be 30 seconds. And that blew my mind the first time I worked on a film set. I can't believe I'm standing here for all this time. We actually haven't done anything.
I love stories. I love music as well. When I was a teenager, I would just have the radio on all the time, and to be honest, like a lot of my close friends didn't even know that about me. It was like a secret I had, just between me and the radio station, right?
I never, I didn't want to be an editor. I used to joke that, I'd want to sit in a dark, windowless room for hours on end.
And that's what it is, essentially.
Exactly.
It's exciting. And nothing, it's unlike brain surgery. No one's going to die.
Communication is the key in our industry.
It's basically telling stories.
And that's what we, like, as humans have been doing, like, all the time.
I had written, but not a script. That was a whole new world to me. But the reason for writing it initially was because I wasn't seeing on screen the stories that I wanted to see. And somebody said to me, well, if you're not seeing what you want to see, do it yourself. And I was like, right, okay, I will do it.
This little baby here, this iPhone, it's not just a phone. It's not a phone anymore. You know, you can create beautiful pictures from this device.
I think the best thing is when you see the result of your work.
What would you say to those people like who don't have an inkling but they want to get in the industry?
Get an inkling, to be honest.
You must find out who you are and what your strengths are, and you must know your strengths.
You're going to get knocked back. It's very difficult to get your foot in the door, but that doesn't mean that you can't.
Keep at it, even with all the rejections. You know, your interest, as long as your interest is still there and they can see that, it's just literally don't give up.
If there's somebody you admire or somebody you respect within the industry, or there's somebody's work that you think is amazing, reach out to them. They may not reach back to you, but they might, and you've just got to give it a go. And I would say, please, please do it. And I really hope to see some of you on a film set soon.
There you have it. That's just
Wow.
a flavour, an indicator of the kinds of and the calibre of guests I have on my show. And there's more to come, obviously, moving forward.
Yes, that's just a tiny little section. There's a lot more content out there. And I think what was most revealing about that was how many hairstyles and different makeup looks Samina can do on her live
you know,
podcast.
a girl's got to be versatile, doesn't she?
So yeah, congratulations, Samina. Yeah, so there's a link to Samina's YouTube channel in the chat section. If she hasn't put it there, she's going to put it there very soon. She's probably doing it now.
Yeah, there you have it. It would be great if you could subscribe, because then that way you will get a notification every time I put new content. And the content just isn't interviews. I've got other kinds of content that you can benefit from too. So if you get subscribed, you'll get a notification every time a new video gets uploaded to my channel.
Exactly. And, you know, do that American thing. Hey, subscribe. You got to subscribe. Hit that subscribe button.
Nothing wrong with
it's
that.
irritating. No, it's good. No, it works.
Nothing wrong with the American way, Peter.
Samina, exactly. No, I love my American cousins. But listen, Samina, while we're talking about your YouTube channel, can you give us a quick splash of it? Can you show us around just before we hit the Q&A? Because I think people would be interested to see. You've done a lot of work on this. I think what's really clever about what Samina's done is she's broken it all down. You know, sometimes YouTube channels are just kind of they just put stuff out all the time. Samina's kind of organized it in a very OCD kind of way, but makes it very easy to navigate. That wasn't a
I just like to be organized, you know. So let me just talk you through this. So obviously this is the trailer. This is a slightly longer version of what you've seen already. And these, how to get into TV and radio and film, obvious, they do exactly what they say on the tin. So as you can see here, there's a whole host of different contributors in different roles across the industry, across TV, radio and film, who share their pathways into the business, so that all of you who want to follow in their footsteps have got an idea that, you know, what the different steps are that you could take, and some that you may not have even considered. And don't forget, there's no one straight pathway into this business. There are many. Everybody's got their own story to tell. And so no matter what area you're interested in, I cover it. And if there's any that I haven't covered, then please feel free to contact me on my YouTube channel or across my socials, which I'll share the details later, and let me know, and I will secure an interview with somebody in that role. Here, you know, diversity and inclusion in the media industry, again, really close to my heart, because I'm British Pakistani, I'm a woman as well. So, you know, there's been a few hurdles I've had to jump over the years. But, you know, I remain optimistic. And again, these interviews aren't about lamenting or moaning about the state of affairs currently. They need to improve, but people share also the projects they're doing to secure and, you know, ensure that the industry offers a fairer playing field and opportunities for all. And here, that's just a bit about me. And here you've got media opportunities and also information. It's really important you know some of the terminology. It's really great if you could equip yourself before even getting into the industry. So I do, I support you with that. Unscripted TV, I explain what that is. Scripted, writing for drama. I break it all down, and every week or a couple of weeks, I try and post something to support people there. So that is exactly, what my content is.
Thanks, Samina. So before we hit the Q&A, I've got a couple of questions for you, if you don't mind. I'm going to put you on the spot. So why did you, as a freelancer, decide to do this? Because and create, how to get into TV, radio, and film? Because a lot of people's experience as a freelancer, and I speak this from experience as well, is that you're either working or you're unemployed, as we call it, fun employed, because you're spending the money you made, or you're trying to get your next job. So why did you decide to do this, given that you're probably flat out freelancing?
Good question. What I discovered was on some of the longer contracts that I did, and over the years, this is like the span of my career, obviously not when I started, but a bit further on when I had more experience, I was being assigned various people at entry level to support them. They were shadowing me, or they were my interns, or doing work experience. And what I identified were knowledge gaps, and some severe knowledge gaps. And of course, I supported those people and helped them. But I thought, this isn't enough. I'm not helping enough people. Like, how can I support more youngsters, or even those who are coming from different industries who want to move into media, to really understand the landscape and also what's required of them? So let me give you some examples of the knowledge gaps. Some really basic fundamental errors in the way they'd structure their CV. Some of them didn't have a clue about what a good cover letter involves, or if they're applying for a job, what to look out for in the job description so that you can really up your chances of getting an interview, right through to attitudes. So it'd be going from one extreme, really gung-ho and I know everything and don't tell me what to do, right through to those who are really, shy and could potentially miss out on opportunities. So I thought, right, I want to support more people. This isn't enough what I'm doing. So in my downtime, over the last 2 years, I've gone to work, done my research, got connected with all my contacts, and put this together to support people who want to get a career in TV, radio, and film.
And so the thing is, why is a TV, radio, and film sort of back in vogue? Because there was a point where it sort of went out of vogue, and all of the people wanted to get into new media. They all wanted to work for Google and Facebook and start up some new media web company. Why TV and film now? Why is that now getting interesting?
Well, the thing is, a lot of the barriers between tech and what that kind of tech, what people considered as something very different, and with content production, they're all merging. I mean, look at the different ways in which people are consuming media on their laptops, on their phones, on the go, or traditionally, on a TV set. So I think a lot of those lines have been blurred. And so now content production isn't just the reserve of those who work in TV or radio or film, but it's expanded. Look, we've got a huge amount of streamers increasing annually: Netflix, Amazon, Apple, Disney, and so on. I could go on. And moving forward, it's going to move into the virtual reality and actual reality, AR space. So things are going to shift and technologies are going to merge, and through that, there's going to be some massive changes. And I think it's not about, I don't think like content production ever went out of vogue, but I think the way the landscape shifted now, because it's all becoming almost not one, but getting there, it's really back on the agenda, because it's all about content. It's all about sharing and telling stories. And we're humans. That's what we're about, telling stories.
Yeah, absolutely. And that can be in any medium, can't it? Not just, you mentioned TV, radio, and film, but, computer games. There's a huge storytelling platform now. But tell us just briefly, what does your show include exactly?
So I gave a brief overview, like some content with industry experts who showcase their pathways. They also give brilliant advice as to how those who want to get into that particular role, what they can do to kind of set themselves up to start looking to get into the industry, to get a foot in through the door. Also, those who want to showcase, those who come from backgrounds like mine, from diverse backgrounds, whether that be from, different socioeconomic background, or one of heritage or religion or whatever it might be. It's really important for me, for this industry to become increasingly inclusive, and in recent years, the spotlight's been put on to the industry, and that's a great thing. And so that for me is really critical, that I showcase that as well and allow people, Peter, this, for the most part, most of the industry works behind the cameras, and it tends to be, or it occurs for me, that those who work in front of camera tend to have all the say. And for me, that was really imbalanced. So I created a platform on which those who are behind cameras can have a say about what they're up to, i.e. the careers interviews, but also on diversity and how things are impacting them and how they're contributing to shifting the landscape.
So who can benefit from your content? Is it sort of just new starters, or is it just anybody at any level?
Well, I think if you want to educate yourself about the different roles, I think that was one of the massive knowledge gaps of the youngsters I've supported over the years. They just didn't have a clue about what they wanted to do. And what was quite amusing was the majority of them only knew about what I call the glory roles, director, producer, presenter. Like everybody and their mother knows about those roles. But what they were failing to understand critically was, do you have the personality? Do you have the skill set? Do you have the approach? Do you have the knowledge to fit into any one of those roles? Producer, director, not everybody can be Steven Spielberg. I'm sorry, it's just not possible. So then you've got to get a bit reflective and think, right, what can I do? And what opportunities can I create for myself? And what roles can I consider that are really going to get me success, or at least get me moving in that direction? So I think it's really, important I address that area, of what was missing.
Yeah, I'm going to get my little catchphrase in here because I might forget it later on. I've always said that with freelancing, it's the triple A syndrome. It's ability, affability, availability. Can the person do the job? Affability, are they a nice person? Will I enjoy working with them? Availability, are they free to do the job? Once you fulfill those three criteria, your foot's in the door. And that's sort of a very important thing for freelancers to remember. Often people forget the middle one, affability. They're so busy being available and saying they can do it. Sometimes you can, the people don't want to work with you for whatever reason. That's just the way things happen. And sometimes in television. Anyway, I'm waffling. Samina,
can I respond to that? I think that's brilliant what you've just said. And I think that's something for everybody to consider, to be, as self-aware as you can. And also this industry,
that's the word I was looking for.
For the most part, this industry is freelance, and it can be really challenging. And that's something to consider as well, because of course there are staff jobs, but they are not as numerous as the freelance jobs. And the majority of, Peter, he's the longtime director, both studio and other kinds of directing, myself, our careers have been, I'd say, I don't think I've ever been in a staff job, Peter. What about you?
I started in a staff job in television in Australia, but I've been freelance since a long time. Yeah, so I think I know a handful of people who are in staff jobs in this industry, and I'm not saying there's just a handful of those roles, but what I'm trying to convey, the message I'm trying to convey, is that you've got to develop some courage and a thick skin, because rejection is huge in this industry because it's so competitive and so many freelancers vying for the same job. Also, courage, because it takes courage to achieve what you want in life. Nothing gets handed to you on a plate, and I can attest to that. I can tell you from first-hand experience that everything I've got, bar I'd say about 3 opportunities in my career which landed, it seemed that they landed on a plate to me, but when I reflect on it, they didn't, because I did the work and spoke to people and put in the groundwork, so they showed up for me. But ultimately it's about getting courageous, not being afraid that you're going to get knockbacks, checking in with yourself to see, like, how much do I want this, and really putting your passion into action and going for it. Yeah, in that respect, being a freelancer in television is not much different to being an actor. Actors, all they ever do is face rejection. And the ones that give up after 3 rejection letters are the ones that don't make it, the ones that sort of keep going. And it's very much the same in television, are the ones who make it. Samina, so just apart from becoming an influencer, what a great term that is. What do you get out of this project? What is it for you?
That's a really great question. I get a tremendous sense of satisfaction that I'm helping others. I'm supporting others. I can be a contribution to others because I've got a ton of experience now. I've been in this industry. It's coming up to 30 years actually. And nearly
20. What are you talking about?
But yeah, it gives me a tremendous sense of satisfaction to support others where I can. Obviously, it's challenging. You know, a lot of people contact me on social media since I launched my channel, asking me to help them one-to-one. And that is impossible because, you know, I've got a life and I'm working and I'm doing other projects. So that's why I try and direct everybody to the channel and to my socials, because I use those as platforms to, you know, showcase content, showcase industry experts, showcase work opportunities, training. And actually, by the way, I post where, you know, if any production company gets in touch with me or I see any work opportunities or work experience, whatever that might be, I post them across my socials as well. So yeah, I've waffled on a bit, but I get a tremendous sense of satisfaction from supporting others.
Good. We'll mention Samina's socials later. She's on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok. Interesting, Samina Kiyani.
I can share
Samina
the
Kiyani
handle
TV.
now if you want.
Go on, share it now. Let's go. Why not? Let's go crazy. We've got just over half an hour to crack through this.
Let me just.
Let's get some questions in.
Okay, so I've just shared the wrong thing. Pardon me.
Okay.
So
while you're doing that, I'm going to tell everybody, it's your turn now to ask some questions to Samina about her show, YouTube channel, and how to get into TV, radio, and film. So if your video is switched on, which I see some people already are, that's terrific. Anybody who hasn't got their video switched on, now's your chance to switch it on so we can see you. You can raise your hand. There's a way to raise your hand digitally. There's a little hand symbol comes up. And I shall introduce you, then you unmute your microphone and away you go. So you'll see the little microphone icon in the bottom left of your Zoom and you click on that and your mic comes on. And look, I don't have to tell you this really. We're in the communications industry. It would be a bit embarrassing if we couldn't organize this, right? This really should be our forte. So yes, any questions, anybody? Anybody want to ask any questions? Put your hand up now. Oh, there's one straight away. Veronica, you are so quick. Veronica
Peter,
Adams.
before we begin, can I
Yes.
just check that everybody's made a note of my handle? It's very simple, @Samina Kiyani TV. And you can find me on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, they're the main places. TikTok, I'm new to. So if anybody's a TikTok expert out there, can you contact me and help me? I'm joking, but yeah, I'm a newbie to that.
All right, enough plugging. Veronica, unmute yourself. Welcome.
Hi.
What's your question? Hello.
Hi, hello. I just wondered how difficult it was to become an extra, because that's sort of where I'm interested, because I already do lots of media stuff as a hobby, I have to stress, but I'd love to at least have that experience of being on a set as an extra. And I know it's lots of waiting around and it's not glamorous, but it would be just nice to have a one-off experience like that.
Hi, Veronica. It's really great to be with you today. Thanks for the question. So let me share with you that when I started my career, I had to have a number of side hustles because working as a freelancer, you know, is precarious, especially at the beginning. You've got downtime in between jobs. And, you know, one of the things I did to learn more about the TV and film industry was get myself a job as an extra, just like you want. Yeah, that was my side hustle. That's how I ensured I could pay the rent and keep, you know, some food on my table. And I worked on various TV dramas and stuff, you know, just as the background artist. And you know what? There's so many agencies that do it. So what I would propose you do is do a huge search online first, you know, like just a regular Google search and get the names. I know one that comes to mind already is Mad Dog Casting. Also, Facebook has numerous groups for extras, you know, background artists and people who want to get involved in TV shows as contributors, and also, you know, various other kind of content production which requires people to partake in it. So if I were you, I would really get having a look on Google for all those, and on Facebook. Honestly, there's tons and tons of groups on there. So if you're not already on Facebook, I propose you do that and go join those groups and see, if you can get an opportunity. Also, if you need a photograph, and if you've got a compilation of any of the work or anything you've been involved in on screen, that's always a great way to share, to see how you come across on screen. If you don't, then guess what? Simple. These days mobile phones are amazing, so just get some people to film you just delivering little pieces from any kind of drama or any famous lines from a film. Just create a little scene and act it out and put it together, just to show what you can do. Or even if that's too much, speak directly into the camera, introducing yourself, who you are, what you do, and what you're interested in. And then that way people can actually have a look at you and see how you move, what you're about. So yeah, I hope that helps.
Veronica, I would say also that SAs, as we call them in the industry, supporting actors. We're not allowed to say extras anymore, SAs. A lot of agencies put out calls for SAs on social media. So if you just get on Twitter, if you just find out the agency's name and find their Twitter handle, you'll see every so often they'll put a shout out, Facebook as well, looking for supporting actors for this particular film. Often you'll be out in the middle of Oxfordshire in a freezing field, wearing a 1940s costume, wet, and like you said, a lot of waiting around. I've got friends that do that, but it can be great fun. And look, it's not something you do. Some people say, being a supporting actor is just, on your way to becoming a big star. There are a lot of supporting actors out there. That's all they do, and they love it. They've made a career out of it. They built a fantastic career. You see them on the sets every so often. They turn up again. Oh, hello, you again. Oh, great. What are you playing this time? Oh, terrific. And that's their living.
And do you know what, Peter? Yeah. That's really interesting, because EastEnders, some of the people are in the pub consistently, the background artists, that's their career. And also everything that Peter said is totally on point. And another plus of working as a background artist is you meet some amazing and interesting people who are also doing that. And the food is great on sets. Let's tell you.
You've persuaded me already. That's the number one thing, food.
Yeah, you do get fed. And actually, usually the essays get fed before everybody else. So it's the crew who are last. So yeah, you'll be looked after. Veronica, thank you. That was a terrific question.
Thank you.
And good luck with your career. I'm sure you'll make it. I mean, you projected straight away when you came on. You projected, and straight away when you said, "I want to be an actor," and I thought, well, there's her job straight away. That's what she's doing.
I am a lawyer, so there's not much difference between the two.
Yeah, actors, professional fibbers. Thank you, Veronica. If you could mute your microphone. Anybody else got a question for Samina? I saw a hand go up before. Michelle, is it?
This is Michelle Was.
Hello.
Hello,
I'm Peter. Hello, welcome.
Hello, Peter. Hello, Samina. I also been in the industry for about 30 years.
Mm-hmm.
From this and that, I did so many work as well. And being an extra is quite good to start. But not everybody, as you say, can have the luxury to break the barrier. I was fortunate that I broke the barrier. And I went from all sorts. I even had my own trailer. But now, many times, yes, I'm also, if I can show off a bit, Morgan Freeman double.
Naturellement, I can see it.
That's why I was able to break the barrier as well, because if you don't have this support from the agency and from the actors, like you say, you may remain an extra all your life. Now I come to a point now where I'm looking for collaboration, because I've been doing this business for so many years. I feel like now, like Samina said, I need to write a story. But the thing is, to write a story, you have to know how, and you have to have a collaboration for it. This is what I'm looking at the moment. I don't know if you can help me with this.
Yeah, of course. Hi, Michelle. Really great to have you join us this evening. So look, storytelling, we've all got a story to tell, or there's a story in our communities or in our families or with somebody we know, or a passion that we have. So what I would suggest to you, before you get, really bogged down with the technicalities of, what should the script look like or anything, just have a look in your own environment, in your communities, in your own life, of what interesting stories there are, and then use that as a starting point to just begin writing. The first point is just get writing, because don't let anything else get in the way as a hurdle or an obstacle or a distraction, because once you got your story and you start writing, that's when you can reach out to others, again, on many groups on social media. And I always mention Facebook, because I promise you there's a ton of groups on there, filmmakers, script writers, and so on. Even if you did a rough draft, or even just put together a synopsis, you know, a short description of what your story is about, that just encompasses what your story is, and send it to, you know, get connected with people in those groups and send it to them to have a look at. I promise you somebody will, you know, get connected or support you. People are really generous in this industry who've got experience. They're always looking to, you know, support others. So I would, yeah, that's the advice I would give. Start looking in your own environment to see what stories are available and in your own life.
Yes, I'm already have some stories to write, but like I say, the collaboration is the issue, because it's difficult to find the people.
So where are you? Have you written a story? Have you written a story already? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, I've got stories. I've got the seminars as well that I'm trying to put together. I'm playing music as well.
So, sorry, forgive my interruption. So what, I'm still not clear. You know, have you written a script? Do you have a script that you've written, or something?
I have a synopsis of what I want to do, but to write a script, it's like writing a book. So at this point, how am I going to do this? That's the difficulties. And
so you want somebody else to do the writing for you? Is that what you're saying?
Not for me, with me.
With you. Okay. Again, I would say join some script writers groups. A lot of them, most of them free on Facebook. Get connected with script writers on social media and just see if you can get some advice from them, or if they can suggest people. Now, not everybody's going to get back to you, but the ones who do, you know what? It's about networking. They'll get you connected with somebody else. So you need to really up your networking at the moment to get connected with those who do what you want to do and get involved in, so that you can then at least find a collaboration at some point.
Definitely. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Michelle. Thank you for your question. Just one other thing someone told me once. They said, no, very few people want to help you write the first draft. As a writer, you generally have to write the first draft and get that, no matter how bad you think it might be, get your first draft written, get that underway, and then get someone involved once you've done the first draft. Okay, I've got a question that's come in from Louisa. Louisa's a film student. She unfortunately can't be with us tonight, which probably means she's in Hollywood collecting an award already. But her question is, Samina, did you begin your career as a producer, or did this role come later in your career? And where do I start? That's from Louisa.
Yeah. And so, hi, Louisa. It's such a shame you can't make it, but thank you for the question. So no, I didn't begin my career as a producer. I began my career as a runner. And fortunately for me, I was only runner for a week, because the person who I was working with, you know, sat me down at the end of that 1 week. You know, I joined a production at the tail end. And just said, you know, I've been really impressed by you. I really enjoyed working with you, you know. And to be honest, I really stepped up in that job. I really made myself available and showcased everybody that I was willing to go a step beyond to get involved. And he offered to train me. So I was very, very fortunate. So I went from a runner 1 week to an assistant floor manager the following week. And it just kind of went step by step like that. Then I moved up to floor manager, then into becoming a first AD, first assistant director. That meant shifting from working on TV shows to drama and music videos and commercials. Now, there's a couple of ways, you know, to do this. That's the traditional route, and I really recommend that. Get your foot in the door. Like, it doesn't matter, you know, where you're running, whether it's as a tech runner, as a production runner, or whatever that might be. Because the most important thing is to be in the environment, because once you're in the environment, definitely step up in that role. However, at the same point, you have then got the option to network with industry professionals who can enlighten you, who can give you insights and get you connected with the people who can support you in getting the role that you want. So what I would say is just get your foot into the door, really step up, then start talking to people and tell them I want to get involved in production. No, but Peter, the point, I remember I saw the email that she sent as well. And,
I'm giving her the wind up. Samina
yes.
knows that hand cue.
I know. She said, I saw the email that Louisa sent, and she also, you know, asked like, can I move straight into becoming a producer? And the answer is maybe. Highly unlikely, because somebody at entry level is not going to have the experience you need to be a producer. It's a very all-encompassing role. So get your foot in through the door as a production assistant or runner first.
Right, Samina, I'm going to do a Piers Morgan on you and sliding tackle. We've only got about 7 minutes left. I want to get through all these questions. Emily Morgan, Emily had your hand up. Welcome. Please unmute yourself and ask what's your question, Emily?
Hi there. So I'm a
it's like
production.
you clicking a pen. It's very distracting.
Oh, I'm very sorry. Yeah, that was me. Sorry.
Sorry,
Emily, go ahead.
I'm sorry, Emily. Please go ahead.
That's okay.
Told off by the floor manager.
Hello. So I'm a production management student, and I'm just starting to kind of think about sending out cover letters and CVs to get work experience on top of my student credits. And just wondered, you talked about kind of covering letters, and just wondered what your top tips were for kind of making yourself stand out, or anything to make sure you don't do as well.
Yeah, I mean, you have to be very precise in cover letters and just get everything in there within like a few paragraphs. You know, I'd say 4, maximum 5 paragraphs. Also, if you've got any examples of what you've done, definitely put a link in. So if you worked on a student production or whatever that might be, I would put that, because for me, you know, when I've been in the position to recruit people, I always look at what they can do as opposed to what they can talk about. So if you can demonstrate what you do, even better, you know. So I would say, you know, whatever you can demonstrate it, put it into your cover letter, keep it really super tight, concise, and to the point. And make sure that you read, you know, if you see a job advert, really read the job description properly and try and align what they want with what you can showcase. Yeah, and just keep it tight, concise, and examples.
Okay, that's really helpful. Thank you very much.
Pleasure.
Brilliant. Thank you, Samina. Got a little bit more time left, about 5 minutes. Kieran, you've had your hand up for a long while. What's your question? Welcome. If you could unmute yourself. Lovely.
Hello, my name is Kiran.
Hello, Kieran. Welcome.
Yeah, well, thank you. My only question is, I just graduated from university studying directing, and I'm from
Congratulations.
India. I really
whereabouts?
don't know
whereabouts in India?
I'm from southern part of India, a town called Bangalore.
Okay.
I really don't know what to do now. I want experience because I just have 2 years of 2 years of visa left with me. And I need to get as much as experience as what I need to do. Yes, you have given me a lot of inputs to as an extra. I don't know what to do, where to go. Many people said go London because I don't have that much money, because to go to London, I need a lot of money, or which is the best way where I can fit into and extract as much as network as possible.
Sure.
So
yeah, good question. I mean, I've worked a lot in India, and I tell you, there's a massive industry in Mumbai. I know that. So that's the first place I would go. I could put you in touch with my friend who's a moderator. Samina, yes. How can you help Kieran?
No, that's exactly what I was going to say. You know, India has got a huge film industry. I mean, there's so many opportunities there. But also there's a huge amount of nepotism there, more so than the UK. So what I would recommend that you do is, again, it's about demonstrating what you can do. If you've got anything to showcase, you know, what your skill set is. So you said you were directing, is that correct?
Yes, I was a directing student.
There you go. So have you directed any content or films or anything?
To be honest, everything was not up to the grade. It didn't as a student, the student production is not that great what I have done.
No, okay, Kieran, let me stop you right there. You know what? It's not about the production value at the beginning. It really isn't. I tell you, nobody cares. Like it's not looking like a Bollywood or a Hollywood movie. What they want to see is what your ideas are, how you interpret stuff on screen. So whatever you have, I would compile it into like a show reel, or if you've got a short film that you can send people or showcase to people, I would definitely do that. Again, in India, there's again online. there's so many film groups. So get connecting. It's all about networking at the beginning. The more people you get connected with, the more people you talk to and tell them what you want to do, the more people will be able to support you. Just imagine if you're just sat at home thinking, I want to direct, nobody knows you want to do that. But if you get connected with tons and tons of people, somebody might go, oh yeah, Kieran told me that. It might be months later, but they'll contact you and say, hey, Kieran, somebody's shooting a film. Do you want to come and be a runner or support them in some way? So I would really advise you, if you've got something to show, it's always about demonstrating what you can do rather than talking about it, and get networking. That's your way in.
Yeah, good advice. And I would also say that what's happening now is there are some fantastically experienced crew members from India now working in London. So if you want to work in London, the way into London, I would say, is via India. Just work in your local industry, get the experience there. Bollywood films are so well resourced. They have better camera equipment than we have in some of the films in London. They're really well resourced. So they have some good stuff. We're almost out of time, but I think we've got time to squeeze in one more. Anna, I saw you popped your hand up. Anna Rowan, if you could unmute your microphone. Hello.
Could we take both Tala and Anna very quickly, the questions?
Oh, yes. Yeah.
Could you keep it concise, guys, so I can get the answers in for you both? So off you go.
Anna,
thank you.
Anna, you're first. So just briefly, yes.
Hi, I'm a university student and I'm looking to do work placements and internships. I've looked at quite a few, like on Google and Facebook groups and things like that, but quite a few places have closed their work placements due to COVID. So I was wondering if you know any places or anything to kind of give me any experience really, to help me kind of get my CV up there.
Great. And can we take Tala as well, Peter, very quickly? Your question?
Yes, of course, Tala. If you can unmute your microphone, darling. Take your microphone off mute so we can hear you.
Please, Tala. Can't hear you.
Need to unmute your mic. There we go.
Yeah,
Got
sorry.
you
Hello, Samina and Peter. Thank you for the event. I just wanted to know any advice for someone with no background, and what is the first step, or how can I start if I wanted to start something new, like, working or doing something in the TV or radio? Thank you.
Thank you. Very quickly, Anna, the industry, we're consistently blighted by this strain of COVID and that strain of COVID, but don't worry. The industry has already started to open up, yeah? So where you're looking is great, carry on looking there, but I would also advise you to go directly to the websites of Channel 4, BBC, ITV, Channel 5, Sky, everyone. They have a lot of schemes they run annually. Including training schemes, work opportunities, work experience, and all the rest of it. So I would target directly the big broadcasters, but also think about the kind of programs you want to work in, research which production companies produce that, because quite often they advertise for runners on their websites. Tala, what I can offer you is, excuse me, if you're interested in radio, look for your local community radios, because I've worked in radio and I started in community radio as well. They love to have new people, on board. So that is going to be your into radio, even though you may not have, enough experience. So community radio, if you want to get into TV, then you've got to then think about what skills you can transfer that are going to be useful to people in the TV industry. So I don't know what it is you do now, and I'm sorry I can't elaborate on it because we're almost out of time, but I would really, if you want to get into TV, compile a list of what your transferable skills are and shape your CV around that so that people can see she'll be useful for this, that, and the other. And also get learning about the different aspects of TV. Feel free to watch the videos on my channel. Also feel free to learn how to, some skill sets, like, are you interested in editing or, learning about filming or whatever that might be. But radio, definitely the community radio route. That will really offer you a lot of opportunities if you really pursue it.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Tala, and thank you, Anna, for your questions. Okay, so that's really all we've got time for. I think Samina's got a hot date. She's got to be off somewhere, so we need to wrap up.
No, I have a meeting, guys, not a hot date. It's such a
She's got a hot date. That's what we call them. So if you want to stay connected with Samina, all you have to do is subscribe to her channel. The link's still in the chat, I believe. Yes, it is. And you can also keep up to date with what she's up to on her social media platforms. That also is in the chat. It's Samina Kiyani TV. The spelling is there. It's the same handle for Twitter, Instagram, Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok. So get your TikTok handle on. Samina, I don't think I've time to ask you why people should do this, but I think you've covered it perfectly.
I have. I've got one last thing to offer everybody. I'm planning to do a YouTube live, looking at people's CVs and pointing out the general errors I've seen and the terrible errors. So if you would like to be in with a chance for me to, have a look at your CV live on YouTube and go through it and tell you where to improve it, then contact me on my social, send me a copy of your CV. And once I schedule that live, I'll get in touch with you and you can invite whoever you want so everybody can benefit on how to structure a good CV.
Brilliant. Samina, thank you so much. Thank you for your time and your expertise. And thank you everyone for joining us, because obviously with these events, you can't do them unless people join in. Samina and I can sit here and chat to ourselves like we would do down the pub, but it's much more interesting if you join in. That's all we've got time for today. And that's how to get into TV, radio and film, a brief introduction. There's much more information on her website, I should say on YouTube, on all her socials. Go and have a look, fish around. It'd be amazing what you'll find there. Especially thanks for joining us. It's a ciao for me. I need to go and I'm in my kitchen, so I'm going to make some pasta. Good night, everybody. Good luck in your careers.
Yeah.
And the best of luck. Yeah. And hope to see you on set sometimes too. Thanks, Samina.
Yeah. Thank you, everyone. And feel free to contact me. Look forward to hearing from you.